We are live. Hey, everybody. Bert the Stormtrooper here, and I'm hanging out with my good friend, Patriot Prime, right over here. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man. How are you tonight? Thanks for having me on.
Oh, man, thanks for joining me. We have, it's been too long since we've hung out.
That it has. Our virtual hangouts.
Yep. I was just watching Dylan today. I saw his new pop video. Man, it sucks that I can't leave a comment on his video.
Oh, I know.
And I want to be like his #1 subscribing fan.
I'm debating on changing it, but I know as soon as I make it, you give either it's for kids or not for kids.
If you mark it not for kids, you're going to get gigged.
Yep, that's what I was afraid of.
I think it's under 12. If there's children under a certain age, and if I mean, how is it that we don't remember this already? This just happened like a year ago, and already we forgot.
Oh, I know. Man, that was our living nightmare for about 2 months.
Yeah.
We all thought we were just going to shut everything down.
Yep. Oh, my God, YouTube shutting us down, man. The world is over. But, yeah, if you have kids under a certain age, and I think it's 12, it has to be marked for kids. So there's just no way around it.
Yeah.
So guys, we're just hanging out. Literally, that's it. We have no plan. We have no script, no schedule, no nothing. We might be on here for 30 minutes. We might be on here for 3 hours. We're just going wherever the night takes us. Because
now, I'll warn you, when Cato and I did this last week, we both agreed, let's just do 30 minutes. 2 hours later, we finally hung up.
I watched that whole thing. not live, because if you remember, I was not available that night.
Now, guys, I'll let you know this right off the bat. There's no Pocky chips involved in this video tonight.
No, there's no hot chips on this one. But I'll let you know. I'll tell you this. It took me the better part of a week to watch that video with you and Cato. Because what I'll do is when I'm running the kids to school in the morning, I'll just play it on the phone when I'm driving, and I'm just listening to it like it's a podcast. But I'm not, since I'm working from home, I'm not leaving town. I'm not commuting. So I'm only driving like 20 minutes a day. And 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. So yeah, it took me the better part of a week to listen to that whole thing.
I'd say 3-hour video. And that train was derailing all the time. Yep. And I fully expect that to happen tonight as well.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got some pickups. We could probably talk about that. We're going to talk about some plastic toys. And more than anything, this is just what Jason and I do on a regular basis. We just usually don't turn the cameras on. So
we're probably the biggest Facebook messengers there is. It's all day long.
Yeah, my family teases me about that.
Well, we're going to talk about some pickups. I got some pickups this week, and I know you did. You went to Walmart today. You shared a picture with me of, it looked like you went into a time machine.
No kidding. In fact, how do we, since I'm new at hosting StreamYard, how do we share a screen on here? How do we do it?
If you're on your other monitor and you pull that picture up,
which I have right now,
at the bottom it says share screen. And it's going to give you the option to select that other screen.
Thank you. Okay, share screen. All right, here we go. Check this out. So this is a picture that I took today from my local Walmart that I sent to our internal group here, titled, "What year is it again?" Check this out.
Hey, are those robot beast things?
Yes. Yes.
I would love to get a couple of those for Dylan. They haven't showed up at my store yet. But you got the Ghostbusters, the He-Man.
Yep.
You got everything but G.I. Joe.
I should have grabbed some of those and put them up there too. I had to go to 2 different aisles and grab stuff and put it all in this spot. There's a couple of Destros up on the shelf too.
Wow, I love it.
So yeah, that was one of those. Is like, what year is it again? But oh man, I wish I would have thought of that. They had a couple of Destros and whatever the little Jeep thing is.
That's the All Striker, and my Walmart's got all kinds of the HISS tanks. They're all on clearance.
I have not seen a HISS tank. I haven't seen. Oh, look at this. Thank you, PJ. Thank you. PJ is a regular on my channel. She comments on every single one of my videos.
Hello, PJ.
Hey, look who just showed up. Lazy Jedi. Now, you remember I told you a while ago, I told you about a podcast that I've been listening to for like 10 years called The Mediocre Show. Lazy Jedi is a co-host of that podcast. So everybody that's watching, go check out The Mediocre Show, one of the best podcasts you're going to find on the Podverse.
That's awesome.
That's the word I just invented.
Now, you were going to show off, we've already kind of planned this. You got all of those reissued Headmasters today, or not reissued. Yeah, they're reissues. They're reissues of the Titans Return Headmasters with G1 heads.
It's weird because I shot the intros for these today, and I didn't. You know how usually whenever we shoot an intro for something, like we'll say, I don't know, today I'm reviewing the Studio Series 86 Scourge, right? So when I went to shoot the intros for this, I'm like, today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Headmasters Mind Wipe. Because, like, what do you call this? It's a reissue of the, what was it, Power of the Primes.
Titans Return.
Were they Titan Returns?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the Headmasters.
Yes, the Headmasters were called Titans. You're right. Man, I may need to go back and shoot every single one of my intros. I may need to go back and reshoot them. Because I think I call them all Power of the Primes in every single one. Or I'll just put a thank you, Lazy Jedi. Thank you so much. I got to keep it. Dude, this is hard trying to keep an eye on the chat and looking at you and everything else.
It's a new world with these live streams. Yeah. I enjoy it because I wanted to do it for so long, and I wasn't able to do it until my internet got better.
Thank you. Thank you, Frank. So, yeah, I don't even know what to call them. But, yeah, like, it's so they are reissues of the Titans Returns Headmasters, Chrome Dome, Hardhead, Mindwipe, and Brainstorm. They are redecoed to look like the G1 figures. If I'm not mistaken, they are redecoed to look like the G1 figures as seen in the Japanese Headmaster series.
Well, bring yours a little closer to the camera. I don't have those, but I have the originals.
Yep, they got new heads. So,
yeah, my head's got those little flares sticking out.
Yeah. So these are more G1 accurate heads.
Yours looks like a duller collar too.
Yeah, because it's so instead of like the bright reds, see how your guns are bright red and all of that. This has the maroon, like the G1 figure, and it's got more muted browns and cream colors. So these are meant to evoke the G1 figure. And I have some like these two. Spoilers, I guess, but these two are my absolute favorites so far. You got your? Do you have a
Hardhead's head? He's got a face, doesn't he? Where mine has the mouth plate.
Yep.
And just to let everybody know, mine have been enhanced thanks to Toy Hacks.
Yeah, this one actually has a face. These two are my favorite because they feel G1. Like they're obviously they're modern figures, they're modern interpretations, but when you play with them, they still feel very G1. You know, they feel like a modern version of the G1. You got
a chat from Patriot Prime. I'm going to answer. He says, "Have you collected any Terminator figures recently?" I don't know if you're talking to me or Bert.
I'm going to get you.
I have two endoskeletons.
Thank you, Kato.
I have two Arnolds from Terminator 1, the police station assault and the Technar. I have Terminator 2.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Look at Kato's comment. Thanks, Kato.
Easiest way, Dr. Us Prime. I have them all but Sarah and John.
I have one Terminator figure that I picked up about 4 or 5 years ago. I reviewed him 4 or 5 years ago, and I have no idea where he's at. And that's it. So, where were we?
Headmasters. You were showing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Brainstorm and Mindwipe. Now, these are my least favorite of the set. That's not to say that I don't like these, because I do like them, but they just don't feel G1 enough, if that makes any sense.
Makes perfect sense. I mean, when I was a kid, the Mind Wipe, the Headmaster Mind Wipe, was the only Headmaster I owned as a kid. So when I got this guy, he looked good. He just felt off.
Something doesn't feel right with him. He feels like lanky. I mean, I like what they did with the transformation.
What's his head look like?
Looks like G1.
Okay.
So
these do not zoom in, do they?
Yeah, no.
Forever.
These are webcams. But I mean, what they did with the wings to turn them into the legs is absolute genius. But if you remember that G1 figure, which I have somewhere, yeah, no way I'm digging that out right now. I'll dig it out for the review. But, you know, the G1 figure was so blocky and chunky. And this just feels lanky. He feels like wimpy and lanky, you know?
Well, the legs are so hollow. The way the wings are, and that's what kind of is a big difference. Like the bat head hanging off his butt.
Yeah. Well, you know, it clips to his. It actually taps into his back. You know that, right? Look on that hinge underneath the head. There's got a little tab that plugs into the window.
And there we go.
There you go. That's it.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, he just kind of feels skinny and wimpy as compared to the original figure, you know. And kind of the same for Brainstorm. Brainstorm is cool looking, and I guess he looks the way he should look, right? He should look sleek and thin and aerodynamic and fast. But again, that's just not how the G1 figure looked. I still like it. He just doesn't feel as G1. I like Chrome Dome and Hardhead because they feel very G1.
They use that Brainstorm mold on so many figures in Titan's Return. He was Blur and RC as well. That same mold, just without the wings.
They made an RC out of that?
Mm-hmm.
Ew. I've got the Voyager Brainstorm somewhere. While Patriot Prime is off looking for... Look at that craziness. Wow.
She was an online exclusive that came with the Titan Master Ultra Magnus.
Huh? I had never even seen that figure. I didn't know it existed. Do you have the non-F set for the trailer?
I don't.
You don't have it? There's something about the I remember vaguely there is something about the rear fenders and the way they mount, and they don't line up exactly. The screws are not going to go in all the way. You just take them in as far as they'll go. If you keep tightening them, it's just going to keep like doing this, and just they're not going to be straight.
Oh, there's a nice comment from Dylan the Autobot, if you want to find that real quick.
This one?
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Dylan. Throw up the name of your channel so we can check you out.
I bet it's Dylan the Autobot.
It probably is.
I tell you what, Bert's the one that helped me get started. I still to this day can't remember exactly how we met, but
I don't remember.
It just out of the blue, all of a sudden you and I, we just clicked.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he's like, here's some pointers on how to do your videos. I'll give you a shout out in one of mine. Next thing I know, I'm over 1,000 subs, and it's just the rest is history.
Yeah, I don't even remember how we met. Wow.
I'm not sure if it was on a Facebook group or what, but it was just you and I just clicked immediately.
Yep. And then we did that visit up to Virginia, and that was fun.
We need to do that again.
We destroyed the universe. I'm trying to go.
Yeah, that is a funny video. If y'all watch that, I go to lean back. Bert and I just talked, and I'm crossing my arms to lean back with kind of like a "I told you so" pose, and the wall was not as close as I thought it was. Craig, don't feel bad because we do that to each other.
Yeah, I think all reviewers do that. Like I have bought so many figures that I had no interest in, and then I watched a couple of reviews and I went, I want that figure now. I want to go get it.
What's funny is over the last few lines, you're like, I don't really want any of these. I'm just going to stick to Optimus Prime figures, and that's about it.
Yep.
Next thing I know, here you are just rolling them in.
Earthrise. Earthrise is what reeled me back. As a matter of fact, this was not this one, but the first version of this was the first figure I decided not to buy. I was still, kind of completionist, and this is when we were coming out of Generations and the Thrilling 30 and all of that, and Titan's Return hit. And I saw all the Titan Masters, and I'm like, man, I really want those, but I have got to stop. All of these figures I'm buying, I play with them for a week, then they go on a shelf, and then they go in the bin. I got to stop. I just need to get stuff that I'm going to have on display. And I stuck to Masterpiece, G1, or Optimus Prime figures for like 3 years, something like that.
I just buy more shelves.
Yeah. Well, then, if you remember, I skipped most of Siege. Last year, when we were in Virginia, we were talking about that because we were talking about Springer and all of that, and I still was not buying any of the Siege figures. It wasn't until Earthrise. And then Ross came out with all the cheap Siege figures, so then I just went and bought them all at clearance.
Dude, you got like half the Siege collection for the price of a leader class figure.
No kidding. I picked this guy up last week for $20.
Wow.
Which I think is a fair price for him.
Now, if you watch my video, I show you how to make a cell phone holder out of that flying sled.
Really? I'm going to have to watch it. I've already shot this guy. I've got videos that I have shot, uploaded, and scheduled, and then I keep bumping back every week. Because of all
envious of you on that, because to me, shooting a video is an all-day affair, especially now with Lisa and Dylan stuck home thanks to the old virus. Mm-hmm. You know, my office here is right above the kitchen. So if they're in the kitchen, my microphone picks up everything. So my reviews are all shot in segments. If you ever watch my videos and you'll see those transitions, there's like a 2-hour, 2-day break in between those transitions. When I'll buy a figure and it's after work or once I, either pick him up at the store or he's waiting on me at the house. As soon as I get him, I run up here and I shoot that intro with the box. That's one thing I wish I'd never started was those boxes. So
I started doing that too, and I'm the same way now. And my wife goes crazy. I drive her crazy with this because every time I come home with a figure, whatever needs to be done when we get home has to wait. I got to go upstairs. I got to shoot an intro on this thing because I can't open it until I shoot an intro on this thing.
So then you shoot the intro, then you take the figure out, and then I'll mess with him that night, maybe into the next day. And then it all depends on what's happening at the house if I'm going to be able to sneak away to start filming. And normally what I'll do is I'll film the scene where it's the instruction manual, the figure, and the accessories. And then you notice how I always say, and now let's take a closer look at the figure.
Yeah.
That's where I pause, go downstairs, do something else. Then I will shoot the comparison, the ending, and the outro.
Yeah.
Then the last thing I film is the whole meat of the video. So editing's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I just started recently. I just started doing everything in chunks too.
Oh, you're called Mr. Bert too.
Yeah.
I love Beast Wars. I'm a G1er through and through, but I absolutely love Beast Wars. It's my favorite cartoon of all the series.
I was a late bloomer on Beast Wars. I was because I was a G1er, and then when Beast Wars came out, I was in the Army. And I remember when G2 came out, and I would watch that because it was basically G1 just with special effects.
Cosmic Cube.
And and then Beast Wars came out, and I had no interest in that. And I was really big into Star Wars back then anyway. And I would see the toys in the store, and I'm like, I don't care for that. I don't care for the animal thing. That's stupid. Never watched it. I think I did see an episode or two, like the first couple of episodes. And, those first couple of episodes are slow. And that's when CGI cartoons were like new. I remember there was a show called Reboot. And
about the same company, I believe.
Yeah, and it was really slow and kind of hard to watch. And then so I had no interest in Beast Wars. It wasn't until 2001 when RID came out. and Optimus Prime was a fire truck. And I remember Toy Fair magazine made a big deal about that. And that was the figure, that Optimus Prime, that RID Optimus Prime right here. Forget it. I'm not going to knock over half my figures. He's right there. That is the figure that got me collecting again as an adult. Because I picked him up and I picked up Ultra Magnus, and then I just started picking up figures from there. Then Armada came out. Like, I picked up a handful of the RID figures when that series was running. Later down the road, I went back and I picked up a bunch of them to fill in the holes. But while it was running, I just picked up like a handful of them. When Armada came out, I just started buying every figure on Armada. And it wasn't until about, I think, about the time Animated. We watched Animated, and then Animated ended, and then there was no Transformers. And my kids and I wanted to watch Transformers. So we went back and just started watching everything that existed that we had never watched. We went back and watched all the Japanese shows, and then we watched Beast Wars. And I couldn't believe it took me that long to go watch Beast Wars, because it tells such a good story. It's got such fantastic character development.
Well, I got into Beast Wars when I was in Iraq, because overseas, if you want to watch any television, you bought DVDs. That's what you had to do. Mm-hmm. And I was on Amazon all the time, and Amazon would ship. This is before Prime. Amazon would ship free to us soldiers overseas. Mm-hmm. And I'm just buying DVDs left and right. And I saw the Beast Wars complete series. And I thought, what the hell? I'll pick it up. I've only seen a few of the episodes. And man, I watched them all straight through, and you couldn't ask for a better story. And granted, like the first season, the first half of the season, it's so kiddified. But once it finds its footing, it's great storytelling. Yeah. I think the fact it only uses a few characters helps with that, instead of introducing new characters every episode like G1 did.
Yeah. Now, Ionicus, I don't know how Beast Machines didn't turn you away from Transformers. I watched that series from beginning to end. I know it's got its problems. I enjoy it for what it is, but man, you got to really commit to watch that series.
The season finale was good. I'll give it that.
And I do it again. This is the guy that found the Beast Wars Megatron for me, the Kingdom.
Oh, fantastic figure!
Yeah, Vinny was the one that brought him over. That guy right there.
I had to result and buy that at a little bit of a markup with scalper price, because unfortunately, being from West Virginia, I only have one podunk Walmart that barely gets anything. But when it does, it's really impressive. I got the entire Wave 1 of Kingdom Deluxes, Optimus Primal, Cyclonus, and then I found the Soundwave and Bumblebees there. Yes, it was, Jay.
You got to really commit to watch it. It's like for me, I'm kind of an OCD kind of person, and so I have to watch everything from beginning to end, and I have to watch every episode and everything in between. So I got finished watching Beast Wars. I knew I had to watch Beast Machines, and I stuck with it only because it was a continuation of Beast Machines. But yeah, it's hard to watch, man. You got to really commit.
Dylan the Autobot's got another question for us. Favorite Earthrise figure?
That's hard. Well, Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Scorponok. That's mine.
Yeah, that's a good damn figure. Scorponok is so good. But Optimus Prime is not a perfect figure out of the box. If you're willing to get the Toy Hack sticker set and the non-F trailer kit, that turns that figure into a perfect Optimus Prime figure. And yes, Scorponok was amazing. And what do we want to see in the Kingdom? I mean, what do we want to see that they're not giving us already?
Galvatron.
So, are they not? I thought they were going to give us the Galvatron. I thought that was happening.
Well, he hadn't been announced. I mean, there's pictures of him on the box, but he hadn't been officially announced. And I want Thunderwing. I want a damn Thunderwing figure.
If you take that Titans Return Galvatron and give him a proper head and make it so that his cannon can spin, that's really all you need. That's a good Galvatron figure.
I think I have a little adapter on mine that does that.
I know what I want. I'd like to see Sideswipe and Red Alert in Earth modes. That's what I'd like to see.
Who else are we missing? Line. A modern figure. I wish they'd finish up the Autobot Target Masters, Scoop and Landfill. They gave us Scoop. We need Quick Mix and Landfill.
I like the fact that I completely lost my train of thought.
That happens. I'm drinking. That's why.
I lost my train of thought. Like I was going to say something right along the lines with what you were saying, and then I lost it. There's a glitch in the matrix. What's that?
We still need Needle Nose. We got Spanish. We got Quake. G1 Needle Nose, Junior Target Master.
Oh, the target. Yeah. So the dude, Junior Headmasters. But I mean, I don't know if they're going to take us back to that. Would be taking us back to Titans Return. So that would probably not be a thing. I know what I was going to say. I'm glad that I skipped on Siege, Ratchet, and Ironhide, but I got the what's his name? Crossfire, but the Target Master.
Oh, Crosshairs.
Crosshairs. I got the Crosshairs in the Siege mold, and then I got Ironhide and Ratchet in the Earth modes. That just works perfect for me.
I thought it was the pineapple. The pineapple's friggin' delicious, but this isn't too bad. I'm all about the mics.
Yeah, look, speaking of mics.
Hey, Fire Talks.
Fire Talks is here.
Your shipment he lives in Virginia. He shipped me something 2 days ago, but it's still not arrived yet because he's got a scabbard coming for me for Cyclonus in Cyclonus's purple collars. New review coming soon. Sword for Cyclonus.
Cool. That is cool.
I have a couple of those Star Wars vehicles. I got Darth Maul and Vader.
I just broke Vader.
Oh, and I got this one.
Where was he?
I keep him in Star Destroyer mode.
I wonder if he's up here. I have only one Star Wars shelf, and everything else is put away. And I guess I put them away. So when I unpacked the Star Wars shelf, I've got Darth Vader that transforms into his TIE fighter. And when I pulled him out of the box, half of him was yellow. And when I tried to he'd come apart in the move. He just kind of parts fell off. So as I started putting him back together and snapping pieces back on, they just started breaking and crumbling.
That was the Millennium Falcon, the one that was Chewbacca and Han Solo. It just crumbled. It had so much GPS, it just fell apart in my hands. All the joints crumbled. Where's Dylan? Dylan says, how come I haven't reviewed Earthrise Smokescreen yet? I got him later than everybody else did. And if you're going to start doing reviews, once you start piling up the figures, you tend to review the newer stuff first. Yeah. I got Rotor Storm, Smokescreen, and Tiger Tracks all at the same time. So then all of a sudden, I got new Earthrise figures, and then Kingdom showed up, and then this showed up, and it's all piling up. I'm getting to him. I've got a Toy Hack set coming for him real soon, but they just pile up on you, and it's so hard to catch up on all the figures you're trying to do. I mean, I bought all.
For Vinny.
What's that?
That's for Vinny.
Oh, My Little Pony. Prime example is I bought that entire wave of Kingdom 2 weeks ago. Just filmed Black Arachnia tonight. So it's all, and of course, all of a sudden Megatron came. It's just different things take priority. You want to get stuff out quick, but it's hard to do everything.
Well, you remember back in, I think, late November, early December, I did the Decepticon clones. And when I shot those, I also shot the Autobot clones. Now, that's about the time we started just getting stuff every week, new figures. We started getting new figures. So I've got the Autobot clones have been shot, edited, uploaded, and scheduled. And those have been scheduled since December. And every week I push them back a week, push them back a week, push them back a week. Shockwave. I've got Shockwave shot, reviewed, edited, uploaded, scheduled, and he keeps getting pushed back. I got a Super Psykill for my GoBots. I got a Super Psykill. He's uploaded, and I keep pushing it back. I did another repair video on an electronic battleship. That's uploaded, and it keeps getting pushed back, because we keep finding figures. So like today, and we can start talking about stuff we found. Just today alone, I got 6 new bots. Just today. You know, I'm still going through Studio Series figures. So like I'm in the middle. I've already shot the Let's Transform for Cup and Blur. These are already shot, and the intros are shot for these, and what comes in the box are shot for these. The main meat of the review, I need to shoot.
Now,
Grimlock, what's that?
Do you shoot 2 or 3 videos a day, if possible? Because you always have a pretty nice stockpile lined up. Mine are shot, edited, and then thrown up. I never really schedule anything ahead of time.
Yeah. I just don't put them up as soon as I shoot them, because I like to do 2 a week. Right now I've got enough where I'm doing 3 a week. There for a minute I was doing 1 every day. I did that for about 2 weeks. I did 1 every day for about 2 weeks in early January. And I stopped doing that last week because eventually I'm going to run out, and I'm going to go from a video every day to no videos until who knows when, because this is going to dry up eventually.
The dumbest thing I ever did. 3 a week. The dumbest thing I ever did was when I first started, and I'm trying to do gimmicky things to attract people to the channel. I don't know if you and I had hooked up then, but remember when I decided to do Micromaster Month?
Yeah.
That was a video, sometimes 2 per day of every G1. I was driving myself nuts.
I mean, I've seen guys that do stuff like that. I can't think of the name of it, for the life of me. I can't think of the name of him right now. But there's a really big video game reviewer that's no longer on YouTube. He quit YouTube a few years ago. And he would do daily videos, and he would do theme weeks. Like I remember he would have like a Sega Master System week, and every day there was a video for Sega Master System and stuff like that. I can't imagine having a schedule like that with a real life, But like whenever I get a bulk of figures, like today, I got those 4 Headmasters, and then I got that the Criminal Pursuit. Sean, thank you so much, buddy.
Not yet. The next one coming up is Slitherfang. I know that one's in the works. Studio Series 86 Jazz is in the works. So not as much on Cyclonus yet. I can't wait because I know they're going to G1 him up a little bit.
But so 5 intros. So today I got all these figures and I shot the intros right away, and then they just get put in a folder so that I can open the figures and mess with them and whatnot. And then whenever I can shoot the video for the figure, then I can shoot the. If I don't have a lot of time, I'll just do the transformation video or what comes in the box video, and then I just keep saving stuff into the folder until I have everything. And once I've got everything I need, then I'll sit down, edit it, and then I'll look at my schedule. What I've got scheduled, okay, this can be pushed back. Let me put it in here because this is a newer figure. It's like I'm running a freaking TV station in here.
Yeah, there's a lot more work to doing YouTube videos than you think,
especially
look good. I mean, I've seen. I mean, it amazes me for a 13-minute video. you're going to put in 3 or 4 hours, sometimes even 3 or 4 days. Just depends on what's going on, because unlike some of the bigger YouTubers, this isn't my job. This is a hobby of mine. I mean, I got to work my 40 hours, family time, everything else, then try to do this. So it's a challenge, but I try to do it where I'm enjoying it. I don't want to ever feel like, oh, I have to shoot a video, because you guys can tell when we're not enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, and another thing about that is, obviously, we don't make a lot of money. We make a couple of bucks, but trust me when I tell you, it's not anywhere near like, oh my God, you're making YouTube money. No, it's like, anyway, I won't get into the details. It's not a lot. It really isn't. That being said, it's nice that whatever we do get is kind of guilt-free money for me. I can go and, I can go to the store and buy this figure with revenue that came out of YouTube, and I don't have to worry about it. The minute YouTube becomes a job, whatever money you make off of YouTube, you have to use it to pay the bills. You can't buy these anymore. So yeah, I like not making a lot of money, so that what I do make, I can just go and spend it on whatever I want.
Yeah, I'm pretty much put myself on a buying hold.
I do not. Jason does. I do not. I don't know what it is.
I will help you.
New things. I'm an old guy, and new things scare me.
Hey, I'm older than you are.
I have to learn. I have to learn what that is. I probably need to get on Patreon. But don't you have to like offer people something if they give you money on Patreon?
You can. I mean, like Rodimus Primal, he just tells people flat off, "Hey, I appreciate your support. You have my undying thanks."
Huh.
Some people can do special videos. Now, I've offered my channel members 20% off the Patriot Prime merch store. So if you want to walk around and promote your chest.
I don't even have a merch store. See, you're so much newer at this, but so much better at this than me. You are so much better at this than me.
I think I told you for a year, when I got back from Iraq, I got a job at a gym. It's hard to believe now. But I was big into fitness instructing, and my thing was I had to do gimmicks and things to bring people into the gym. So I would come up with a kids program that I called Boot Camp with a K, and I designed logos and stuff for that. I did a HIIT training, high intensity interval training class that I called Gladiator Training. It was inspired by Spartacus, that show Spartacus on Stars. So I would design logos and stuff. So I did all the design work for the gym. So when this YouTube thing came out, it just all started falling back into place. Before I started, I probably spent about a month just trying to come up, what can my gimmick be? How can I make myself different than anybody else? I mean, for a second, my YouTube channel was going to be my PS4 gamer tag. And I thought, that's not catchy. And then I got this tattoo when I turned 40. It's Optimus Prime holding the American flag. And when I went to my first Transformer convention, a couple of the guys there nicknamed me Patriot Prime. And then one day I'm just laying in bed like, that's my YouTube name. Well, yeah, you do stop motion. That's why. I'd hate to imagine what your life's like.
Screw the cat.
I think the most stop motion I ever did, I had my MP Megatron do this.
Cries in stop motion is the funniest thing I've heard today. No, I mean, I had my thing that was different on my channel because I started doing something that no one was doing and I wished existed, right? Because I collect so many Optimus Prime figures. And when I was building this collection throughout the years, I was going back and buying older figures that I didn't buy when were first available, right? So I'm going back and getting like G2 Optimus Prime figures and like the Action Master Optimus Prime figure and stuff like that. So a lot of times, you got to go buy that stuff online and then you have to wait for it to ship. So I would sit on YouTube and just watch reviews, and that was kind of my fix for watching those figures, was watching them on YouTube. And I had a group of reviewers that I was familiar with that I liked watching. And a lot of times they wouldn't have some of those older figures or some of those rare, more obscure figures. They just wouldn't have them. And either there would not be a review for them on YouTube, or if it was, like I remember there was one in particular. I don't remember the figure. I just remember that I could not find a review for it anywhere. When I found a review, it was like some 12-year-old kid shooting the figure on the carpeted floor of his bedroom, talking about look at this piece of shit. It fucking sucks. And I'm like, this is it? This is the only information that there exists on YouTube for this figure. Screw it. When I get this figure, I'm starting this. So, that's what I just started doing. Let me just catalog Optimus Prime figures. So I had my thing up until I went through my entire collection. And that was the thing is one of the things that I know that this is true for podcasting. For YouTube, not so much. Maybe not. But for podcasting, I got a lot of friends that are in podcasting. And one of the number one rules of that is you have to be consistent. If you're doing something on a weekly, do it on a weekly. Never miss an episode, right? Because if you start missing episodes, then you're not consistent. People are not coming back. So when I was doing That Just Prime came out every Monday morning, never missed one. Every Monday morning, there's a new That's Just Prime. And it picked up a following. And people knew that was coming, and people would tune in and would watch it. Once I went through my entire collection, I just couldn't do it every week anymore. And then there was a whole fiasco that I made a video saying, hey, I've gone through my entire collection. I can't do this every week. I'll continue doing it, but only whenever I get a new figure. And some people thought I said I quit. And they were on Twitter going, oh my God, Bert's quitting. I'm going to miss you. I'm like, stop saying that, please. So once I went through my whole Prime collection, my channel just took a nosedive and just kind of slowed down. But I like doing it, so I just keep doing it because it's fun for me.
It's funny how you get, you're kind of, lack of a better word, you're typecast into what you review. Mm-hmm. So, for example, I love reviewing the Transformers, love Transformers to the end of time, but then there's other things I collect too. And you throw one of those in front of the camera, all of a sudden your views go from here to new figure that's not a Transformer.
I had the exact opposite happen to me. So when I was in the first year of That's Just Prime, that first year and a half, it's just a slow climb. And I was listening to a Ninja Turtles podcast, and the figures for the Michael Bay movie. This is when the Michael Bay movie was about to come out, and the figures had just come out, and I just picked up all of the figures for the Michael Bay movie. And in the podcast, they mentioned, we don't know anything about the toys. We haven't seen them. I wonder if anybody has any info on them, let us know. And I thought, I literally just bought the entire line of that movie that was released the other day. And I'm already doing YouTube videos. So let me just do a review on that, and I'll send them the links. I think I did it in 2 or 3 parts. Because I started reviewing every figure. And before I knew it, I had like an hour and a half of content. So I had to break it up into like 30-minute segments. And I sent them the links, and those videos just shot up. And I think it's kind of like what you were saying today earlier about the timing. Because that Michael Bay movie was about to come out. So when I put figures out related to that movie, that was, for the longest time, those were my top watched videos on my channel.
Yeah, Bert the other day he put up a review of the Ectotron.
No,
it wasn't the Ectotron. Not the Ecto-1. I'm sorry.
This guy.
So he puts this review up, and in 12 hours he hits over 3,000 views. And I got to thinking, the same day he posts this video is the same day that the Ghostbusters movie showed off their new Slimer style.
The Gobbler or the
Ghostbusters was trending, so Bert just timed that review perfectly. And I had the same thing
happen. On purpose.
Yeah. I had the same thing happen when that Nicki Minaj or whatever it was put out a Megatron song. That same day, I don't follow hip hop at all. I'm a heavy metal guy. So that same day, I post a Megatron review of the Nerf gun Megatron classics. Yeah. I had like 3,000 views. And this is before I even had 2,000 subscribers. Hey, see you, Lazy. Thanks for stopping by.
Megatron. And Megatron.
So yeah, I had a lot of reviews on that. And then another one which surprised me, over 28,000 views when I did G1 Minosaur. And the reason was some third-party company had just put out a new Minosaur, and mine just fell right into that.
So I was going to ask you earlier, and then we got sidetracked. Imagine that. If you got any new figures this week?
This week I got
the
86.
The dozens are dying to know. Oh, isn't he a good figure?
Oh, he is amazing. I don't like his sex toy blast effect though. That's an OnlyFans accessory. And then I got Hot Rod, and this thing is amazing.
Isn't that cool?
Absolutely amazing.
Those were my first two Studio Series 86 figures, and what an introduction to the line.
Got this little rat.
Finally, yes.
Fire Talks hooked me up with that. What else did I get? Of course, Monday I got him, and he was one of those ones that kicked back all my other reviews because I had to get this guy reviewed first.
Is there a live action Beast Wars movie happening?
There's an image online. Look it up. It looks like shit. I mean, they're going from the Bumblebee movie where everything looked great back to that Michael Bay weird stuff. Unless it's Cybertronian Cheetor who hasn't converted into beast mode yet or Earth mode yet.
Oh, God, no.
Have you seen the robot mode? Looks even worse.
Is this it?
Yeah, that's it. That's
my God.
That's not bad, but look at the robot mode. That sucks.
What the crap is that? I hope this isn't true. Oh my God, that's awful. Tformers.com, everybody, for your latest in Transformers news.
And you can also find your favorite YouTubers there.
Yes. That is awful. When were those when were those images revealed? That is
like early last week. And of course somebody else makes comment that it was old movie art. So it might be something just recirculating again.
That's why I missed it then. That's why I missed it, because man, this week was busy for me. I've been between work and real life. I've not been paying attention to much of anything else. Yes, Vinny, that is exactly what that looks like. I hope that does not come to pass.
That looks like one of the robots you'd see on Futurama.
That looks horrible. So you got
on widescreen now, so you guys can be jealous of our collections.
You know, I did not do that on purpose. Here, we'll do this. So you got Scourge and Hot Rod. If those were my first two Studio Series 86 figures, those are my introductions to the line, and what an introduction that is. Those are amazing figures.
Hot Rod's unbelievable. He'll be the one. Well, now I'm talking about bouncing figures around again because I just got Rat Trap. I need to do Rat Trap to finish out Kingdom. And then I want to do Studio 86 because it just came out. Yeah. Then I need to go do Smokescreen before I do the repro labels for it. Toy Hack, excuse me. I'm old. I still call them repro labels.
I still say repro labels because, I mean, dude, I bought my 2002. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2002 was the first time we got reissued G1 figures at Toys R Us exclusives. We got Optimus Prime, we got Ultra Magnus, and we got Hot Rod. Hot Rod was the first one released. He was $18, and they named him Rodimus Major.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember.
Didn't we get Starscream at the same time too?
That was the following year. Series 1 was Hot Rod, Prime, and Magnus. And I believe the year was 2002. I bought that Hot Rod figure, which I never owned as a kid. I never had a Hot Rod as a kid. And I could not put that figure down. I just played with it and played with it and played with it. And in a matter of a week, I had scraped off his thigh stickers. And I looked online to see if there was anywhere that sold replacement stickers, and I found a little website called Repro Labels. And that was when I bought my first set of Repro Label stickers way back in 2002. That's how long those guys have been around. So I still cannot sink into calling them toy hacks. I keep saying Repro Labels.
I think my first set was I redid a G1 6-shot, and I got a set from them. And then the next set I got was when I upgraded my G1 Metroplex into a more upgraded version.
The doesn't roll well part, I don't know. I mean, I found a lot of these figures like don't roll well at first, and then you just kind of got to massage them. Look here at the two brown shin pieces. They have to click in, like you have to push them in, and they tab into something. I don't know what, but they tab into something. And if you don't tab them, he is not going to roll well. But,
well, I was having a problem with Scourge. I didn't realize that once you get them all folded together, you give that body an extra press up to really lock him into place, because I couldn't figure out why these wings wouldn't lay flush.
You know, two things that I've been saying a lot lately in reviews with Kingdom and with Studio Series 86, two things. Plastic origami, because that's what these figures are doing. Like this, I mean, it's nothing short of origami. This and Black Arachnia, it's ridiculous what these figures are doing. And mini masterpiece.
I've been saying mini masterpiece a lot because I don't really collect masterpiece. I've got MP1 Optimus Prime, KOG1 Megatron, and KOG or Beast Wars Megatron. That's the only masterpieces I have.
I just ordered a KO masterpiece Trax. Really looking forward to that one. But yeah, the Studio Series 86 line to me feels like a smaller scale masterpiece line that is a lower price mass retail. Instead of being like a hard to find collector thing, it's a mass retail release masterpiece figure. Here you go. That's what the Studio Series line feels like to me. I mean, look at these. Look at this, man. That's just beautiful. It's perfect. And some people have complained about the back feet being the back of the car. That looks fine to me. That looks like a bumper to me. I don't know. This is just beautiful. All of these figures are beautiful.
Hey, this is the Transformers fandom. Everybody's going to complain about something. That's like a lot of people absolutely hate the rubberized skin on this Megatron. I think it really adds to the figure, really adds to the weight. I mean, not everybody's cup of tea, but I like it because it's different.
Fire Talks. I have a friend of mine that I've known for years and years and years. He found a KO masterpiece hot rod, the second one, the one that comes with the fishing rod. And he gave it to me. He's like, "Hey man, I found this. I thought of you. Here you go, so you can do a review on it." And I was just so impressed with that figure that then I just started going after KOs for the masterpiece. I'll watch reviews on them and see if they get good reviews, and most of the time they get better reviews than the actual figures. So I've got like my Wheeljack is a KO, my Ironhide is a KO, Trax is coming, he's a KO. And then check this out. I have the 3 Dotson brothers. One of them is a KO, and I don't know which one. I know for a fact 2 of them are legit because I bought them legit in the box and all of that. And then the third one I got at a collector store knowing that it was a KO. And it's been so long ago that I can't tell which one's which. I have no idea.
The only KO that I bought recently, and a lot of people have asked how come I haven't reviewed him, is the KO Beast Wars Megatron.
How come? Why haven't you reviewed him?
He looks great. He's a fantastic looking bot. The electronics stopped working immediately. He came with no instructions. And I'm afraid to touch him in certain places. He just really sticks and the plastic's thin. And I'm like, I'm not going to risk it. I mean, I know only paid $100 for it, but still it's $100. So he makes a nice display piece. But yeah, I think I showed you plug in, well, I got these blast effect right here. I tried to use it with my Kingdom Megatron. The electronics working everything's great, but it's just, I'm afraid to mess with him too much.
I wish the electronics suffered from Turbo Man syndrome, and you press the button, Yo soy Megatron, sí.
Well, it is. You have to hold the button down a certain way to get it to speak English.
Yeah. I remember that. Wasn't that the thing with the actual one, too?
I think so.
The legit one, that there's like a button combination that you have to do to switch it between
there's a button on top of his head that activates his voice effects. You hold it down, and then it activates the English
languages.
Mm-hmm. It's just clips from the show.
There is I think I know which one you're talking about, Sean, because I've been watching one when the Walmart Optimus Prime came out, the $50 one without a trailer, which I did not pay $50 for that thing. I got it on clearance, I think, for like 20, something like that. That's when I got it. But then I started looking for a trailer for them. And then I found that for about $40 you can pick up a KO of the G1 figure, complete, brand new in the box and everything. And I've really been considering picking one up because I've got a handful of KO G1 figures for my personal collection, and you can't tell the difference between them and the original ones. And they're just what do you call them, like hole fillers for my shelf. And I'm really happy with them. I've been thinking about getting that Optimus as well. But the thing of it is that I got 3 or 4 G1 Primes already. So that's why I haven't pulled the trigger on them.
I have one KO G1, or I guess it's 3. It's the reflector set.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. And I toy hacks them up. So they're pretty
I
much
remember what the issue was with mine, by the way. It was the flash bulb that turns into a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So the peg is too thick; it won't fit in his hand. That's what the issue was with mine. Remember we were talking about that? Like mine had an issue, and we couldn't even figure out what it was. When I took them all out and I put them on the shelf, I was like, "Oh, let me see what." Oh, that's what it is. He can't hold it. I gotta set it to the side. So, and you had that wheeljack there for a minute.
Well, I got him. I thought he was a great deal. Then I got home and he had no accessories.
That sucks.
And then I thought
I got that they were. I got him up. I got Springer, and who else? Oh, and it's Scourge.
Mm-hmm.
And the only issue I had with Scourge was that his again, the leg stickers just rubbed off. Like that week before I even drove back to Florida, the thigh stickers had already been rubbed off. But Reprolay was toy hacks. I put toy hacks on him, and he's been fine.
I think you sent me a message that night. So I just took this thing out of the box, and the stickers are already messed up.
Yep. So, do you get anything else this week, or was that the only 2 figures you picked up?
I think that was it. Oh, I did get my replacement for my Warpath.
Oh, talk about this, dude! Talk about this. This was horrible. Oh my god! I mean, at least this time it really kind of is equal value, but still.
Yeah. So, if you guys are on my channel at all, I got Kingdom Warpath. He had a horrible QC issue that I didn't even notice till I went to transform him. If you're familiar with the figure, the body, the turret is pinned in. So when mine went through the factory, the pin didn't get pushed all the way in. So as soon as you unhook the back, the turret just spun all over the place. And well, hell, I'll show you.
I've been meaning to look at mine. I showed Vinny that's on the chat here. He came over and I showed him how to transform this figure, and his eyes got this big. Like he couldn't believe how this figure.
Yeah, the legs are just stupid. So anyway, the guy looks great. So I went to take him apart or transform him. And the first thing you do is you pop this back section off. When I pop this off, I noticed the turret was exceptionally loose. And see if I can get the arms out of the way. The pin doesn't go all the way through, so it doesn't sit flush. So You got that going on.
And there's no way to take apart this turret.
You can't. I mean, everything's pinned in. So I tried my best. I even manipulated to get the head off.
Dude, look how tight mine is. Mine's actually tight, dude.
But mine, if you, let's see, pull this out. If you push it down so it's right, when you push it down and make it flush, the pin then sticks up.
It's sticking up.
Sticking up on the inside, the head will not go in, see? Because the pin now stops the head from going in. So to transform him, I have to pop him up, then hook the head on, and then just press it down and kind of manipulate that pin around the head. So if I had noticed this is one of those cases where I get this figure home, I shoot the intros on it, and put him to the side. I didn't fool with him for a couple days. If I had known about this issue, I would have taken him right back to Walmart and exchanged him for another one. So since it was like a week later, all these figures are gone. So I thought, well, what the hell? I'm going to contact Hasbro. So I contact them. They asked for pictures, and I sent them pictures of what's going on. I sent them a video, and they replied, well, we don't have any more Warpaths, but we will send you a figure of equal or more or equal value. And I'm like, all right, what am I going to get this time? They sent me a Studio Series Drift to replace Warpath. I hate Drift.
What a crock of shit, man. Now, if I remember correctly, when you were talking to Kato last week, you are getting a replacement Warpath, right?
Yes.
Okay.
One of my subscribers is hooking me up with a replacement.
Because it just occurred to me. So when I went to I got this set came in today. This is the Pursuit on who knows what the crap planet set. That's a planet that I just invented. So I got that set. I got him home. I got just enough time to I haven't even transformed Barricade yet. I got enough time to transform him once. And a buddy of mine calls me from my local Walmart right here down the street, which, by the way, I'd already been to this morning. When I took my daughter to dance, on my way home, I stopped and I checked in. It was a barren wasteland. There was nothing there. So he calls me. He's like, hey, dude, look at it. He sends me a picture, and it's all 4 of these guys. I'm like, put them in your cart. I'll be right there. So I go over there, and I meet them. And I get the figures, and they're stocking. It's like 4 in the afternoon, and they're stocking shelves in the middle of the day with people shopping there. So I go out to the aisle, and I see everybody's got the box. You know, they got the carts with the boxes and whatnot. One box, TRA, Kingdom Assortment Deluxe. Like, hey, dude, can I check this box out? And it was the Warpath, Black Arachnia, Cheetor, and who else came with that wave? There was a 4th figure in there. It was that assortment. Who? Paleotrax. Yes, Paleotrax. It was that assortment. There was 2 of each. So it just occurred to me, if you weren't getting one, I could run down the street and grab you one real quick.
So supposedly he's on the way. Now, actually, Iaconus Fire Talks wanted that Drift. He wants the little baby Dinobots to go with it. And since he's hooked me up with all these weapons, I can give him a Drift. Oh, did you get a Paleotrax?
I did not.
Any interest of you? Yeah.
No, I've passed on him. So I mean, heck, I just passed on him today. He is such a forgettable figure for me that I couldn't even remember his name when I looked at him in the box, like literally a minute and a half ago.
Did you see the post I had where somebody took 3 of them and made that
I did.
Warcraft looking
that
thing?
Looked pretty good. The only reason I was about a half a second I was tempted to pick up a Paleotrax just because you can make a mace weapon for Optimus Primal. And then I thought about it, and I realized that I was considering paying $20 for a mace weapon for Optimus Primal, and I put them back.
Okay, think for a second. We're G1 collectors. We've paid that much for a weapon.
Don't use your logic on me.
You know, sitting there flashing back, thinking about, you know, how we always get these figures that we want to review. Everything keeps getting pushed back. I so bad can't wait to review this.
Oh, yes. I'm looking forward to your review on those.
I have a thumb drive full of clips and pictures to go to this review because I lived for this show back in the day.
Is that the one that skin comes off the head?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah. Not many people remember this glorious show. Oh, yes. The visitors are our friends.
Dude, that is so cool. That's an original Mego?
That's not Mego. That's LJN.
That's an original one, though, right?
That's an original. I got the box was beat to hell, so that's why I didn't feel bad about taking the figure out. But there's no articulation. The legs. What's funny is the boots are actually molded.
Kato's up in here getting political.
We don't do politics.
We don't do politics. Well, you and I do, but
yeah,
behind the scenes. You like that picture I sent? Or that picture I sent you?
That was awesome. I
laughed my ass off at the third picture. So inside joke here for a second, but I sent Patriot Prime a series of pictures yesterday. That third picture of those guys laughing and the look on their faces, the expression on their faces is what I could not stop laughing. My wife kept asking, "What are you laughing at?" And why do you keep laughing? What are you like? What's so? And I showed her the picture. She's just looking at me like I'm stupid because I am. Because I'm literally laughing at a picture of three people laughing.
Now you're familiar with that show, right?
What's that?
Have you ever watched that show?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That show is hard to watch sometimes. It's so creative. Especially
the one guy, the tall guy.
The one guy that guy doesn't give a fuck. He'll do anything. he does not care.
Hey, Larry. Yeah, I lied. Showed Lisa that one. She loved it. I said it makes a lot of sense.
So today I got this guy I mentioned briefly. So this set came in today, which was a nice surprise. These were announced way back in October is when we ordered these from Amazon.
Yep, October 27th, actually.
October 27th. These were scheduled for
March.
And then when did we get the notification? Was it on Thursday? We got the notification that they would arrive on Monday.
They bumped up the release date to the 1st, February 1st.
Yep.
And all of a sudden they started shipping out.
Yep. We got a notification on Thursday that they would arrive on Monday, but they were not yet shipped. Which, considering everything that happened with Amazon last year, I was not holding my breath because I think 4 times in total last year, Amazon would tell me something is arriving on this day, and then the day of, it would say arriving today, but it had still not been marked as shipped. And then later that night, I would get a notification saying this has been pushed back to whatever date. And it was like one in particular was the Ironhide Prowl set. Like the due date got pushed back the first time, and on that date, the day before everybody in my area was getting them, I did not get them, and then it got pushed back again. I had that set pushed back. So anyway, considering everything that happened then, I told Jason, don't hold your breath, man. They're not marked as shipped. And then yesterday, mine were marked as shipped, arriving tomorrow, which was today. And so they actually arrived today. I was blown away. But I'm super happy with this.
In Kentucky.
Yeah. Well, these shipped out of Florida. My tracking shows that this shipped out of Florida, so it just traveled like 2 hours to get here. But I was really happy, especially considering with it. So I missed out on the first one, on the Power of the Prime version. I did not get the Power of the Prime version. So when pictures, actually flip it around, show off the blues. So when pictures were revealed, obviously this one's lighter than yours, but it looks lighter on camera than it really is. It's not as dark as yours.
That's almost color of my shirt.
Yeah, it's obviously, but it's also not as light as it looks. So when this pictures of this were first coming out, it kind of looked like he would make a good. What was the Headmaster Junior again? The blue Night Beat. Like he almost in pictures he almost looked like he was a light blue, like a Night Beat light blue. And when I got him and I opened the box, my first impression of this figure when I opened the box was, holy crap, they sent me the POTP version. Look how dark he is. And then I got him out and I looked at him. I went, oh, okay, I got the black rims and it doesn't have the orange. It's yellow, not orange.
Yeah, that's what sucks. The new one has regular black rims where the original.
I may have to paint those myself. But I mean, I'm really happy with it. You know, it's darker than I expected him to be, so he looks good. Hello, I'm being interrupted.
Say night night, Daddy.
Is she going night night?
She is. Say night night, Daddy. Love you.
Okay, come here.
Say I love you.
Say good night.
Man, she's getting big.
Good night.
Can you say good night?
She's growing like a weed.
She likes looking at herself. That's all she can focus
on.
Right.
I'm actually surprised Dylan's not up here. He knew. I didn't
Give Daddy a kiss. Emmy, give Daddy a kiss. Hey, give him a kiss.
She's just looking at my tush.
She shows up on it.
Wait, give Daddy a kiss on the cheek.
Please go.
Okay, let's go.
Bye bye. Good night.
You say night night. Where's Carmen? Carmen is spending the night.
Carmen's spending the night somewhere else. You ever watch that show, Seventh Heaven?
I don't think
so. I watched a lot of that show in Korea. About the third or fourth season in, they started rotating kids in and out. Like every season or every half a season, like a kid or two would leave the house and another kid or two would come in. And my house feels like that right now. I got one kid spending the night somewhere else, and my oldest is here now, which she's here half the time. But she brought her boyfriend, and he's spending the night. It's like kids, revolving door with kids coming in and out of this house all the time.
Is this the one you made eat a hot chip?
Yes, him. Him.
I'm down again. You find one for 2021.
Absolutely. Happened here too. I need to check again on Barricade and PCP. What happened here? Like shipping delays? Is that what are we still talking? Is that what we're talking about? I'm not sure what Jaylee's referring to.
I can't check mine. My cell phone is my webcam. So
yeah, I was really happy with this because I really thought he was going to be like Night Beat light blue, and he's not. He's a little darker, so he's nice. The only thing I did to him, like within 3 minutes of me opening him, is if you look at the little air vent right here on the quarter panel. That's chrome. Yours is painted as well.
Yeah.
This one was not. So I took a Molotov chrome pen to that within like 3 minutes of me opening him, and I did the same thing on the front of the car. All of the intakes on the front of the car are not painted on this version.
See, that's what sucks. This is an exclusive figure, and they half-assed it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I understand the color changes and whatnot. I guess not really. I don't know why. If he is the character, why not release him in the same colors that he was before?
Yeah. I mean, it should have been.
Question for you. Oh, no, we already saw that one. You can have mine from the POTP version. Cool. Yeah, that's absolutely.
Hey, Shane, I didn't see you was in here. Of course, I don't got the full chat.
You don't have the chat?
Shane, I want to let you know your MicroMaster set got delayed. It was the one supposed to release on February 1st. Now it's not going to come to you until March 3rd.
Well, yeah, I've been going nuts here picking up figures, man. I've picked up the entire Studio Series line, the Studio Series 86 so far. Last week I went to. So it's you know what's funny? Vinny, he's in the chat here. He called me or he sent me a text a week or two ago with a picture of Beast Wars Megatron or of Kingdom Megatron. and say, hey, do you need this? And I said, yes, I do. So he shows up at the house with this, and we worked that out. And then he tells me, yeah, they also had like 4 or 5 Optimus Primals. And I'm like, are you serious, dude? You know that's my thing, right? So a couple of days later, I actually drove down to his town and I went to his Walmart. I picked up the Optimus Primal and immediately canceled because I had the one from Amazon on order, which was scheduled to arrive in March. Still, so as soon as I saw Primal on the shelf, I canceled the one on Amazon, even though it cost me like $6 more because the one on Amazon.
Primal was supposed to be released in February. Megatron's March. Mine
wasn't scheduled to arrive till March. I think.
Oh, real quick, my chat's not working on YouTube, probably because I'm running both these. I was going to respond to Nick. Just send me a PM on Facebook or Instagram.
Oh yeah,
we'll get onto that Overlord.
And Shane,
I'll put your email on here.
And Shane, yeah, also same thing. Just send me a PM. Love to talk to you about that. But yeah,
I can give you his contact information. I have to text him.
Okay. But yeah, I picked up that Primal. I picked up Cyclonus finally, which, man, I hated not having Cyclonus for my Scourge review. When I did Scourge, I really wanted to have Cyclonus for that.
I hated not having Scourge for my Cyclonus review.
Yeah. Hey, you got peanut butter on my chocolate. But I picked up, so Primal, Cyclonus, and they also had the rest of the 86 line. So Jazz, Cup, Blur. And then today I got the Chase set, and then I found the 4 Headmasters. So I've been finding figures left and right. Any minute now, it's going to stop and it's going to dry up.
Yeah. That's why I'm going to stretch out some things. Of course, I've got a lot of people that still message me, hey, when are you going to start doing G1 reviews again? I've got plenty. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on what comes across the table.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I'm going to, at some point, this is going to dry up. I'll start grabbing the G1 figures. I started doing those GoBots. Man, I'm having a lot of fun doing those Super GoBots. And those are figures that I've been wanting. I've been wanting to get into those figures since before we moved out of the old house. I've been wanting to start reviewing those. So I'm finally getting into those. And then I've got all my real Ghostbuster stuff. I've got 5 shelves of Ghostbuster stuff over here. Back at the old house, I only had 2 shelves of Ghostbuster stuff, and I had all the stuff from the 80s was boxed and put away. And I finally have room for all of it up on display. So now that it's out, I want to start grabbing that stuff and reviewing it as well.
Well, be smart about that. You got that new Ghostbusters movie coming out. Time those reviews.
Yeah.
Play the game.
Yeah, Fridays seem to work good for those. But, I mean, I'm reviewing old, although some of the old stuff is the new stuff, too. If you remember that picture I shared earlier, It had the Ghost Popper gun on that. Did you see that?
I did. That shot the little Nerf bullets look like marshmallows.
Yeah. Which I have an original Ghost Popper gun, but I don't have the Nerf bullets for it. So I'm kind of tempted to get the new one just so I can have the bullets for it.
Or if they'll be exactly the same.
Well, a couple years ago, it's the exact same thing. They even put the Kenner logo on the Ghostbuster stuff. I couldn't believe it.
Is Kenner still a thing?
Hasbro bought Kenner back in 94, 95. And I remember when they switched. So when the Power of the Force 2 figures were coming out for Star Wars, when they first started back in 95, at that point, somewhere around there, Hasbro had already bought Kenner, but they were like a subsidiary. So they were still operating as Kenner. And
Super chat.
Thank you. And where was so they did the Power of the Force 2 line, which first came out with the orange cards, then they came out with the purple cards for the Shadows of the Empire, and then they went to green cards. And when they got to the very end, of the green card line when they started doing like the little, instead of having a sticker or a picture of the character on the front of the card, they had the little slider thing because episode 1 was coming out. So every figure with a character from the old trilogy was being tied somehow to a character from the new trilogy. So like Princess Leia had a little slider, you pulled it down and it revealed a picture of Padme, stuff like that.
Now, speaking of Kenner,
when they switched to that line, the logo, I remember specifically the logo changed from Kenner to Hasbro.
Neat. I have got these guys I want to review. The Kenner Terminators.
Nice. I miss Kenner. Kenner was such a good toy line.
Well, did you see the Predators I was telling you about?
Yes. I've been playing with those at Walmart. I go and start pressing the forehead on that thing and just watch them do the thing.
I bought Dylan one of the $10 ones. That thing is made surprisingly well.
Yeah.
I was messing around with it earlier. It's got great articulation. It's a thick figure.
Those Alien and Predator figures look surprisingly good, man.
But I know Dylan loves my Predators here. You know, I've got the high dollar NECA ones, and he absolutely adores these. But now I can give him those $10 ones. Of course, they don't come with the skull and the spinal cord.
Yeah. Sean, I did too. I stopped collecting Star Wars a very, very long time ago, like right before Transformers animated stuff started coming out, like right about that time. Because I remember those figures were, when I was collecting in the 90s, Star Wars figures were $4 to $5. And then they jumped to like $5 or $6. And then all of a sudden they jumped to $13. Well, when animated came out, a deluxe Transformer figure was $8. $7.77, I remember, is what a deluxe Transformer figure cost you. I said, screw this, I'm not buying Star Wars anymore. It's ridiculous. I can get a much bigger toy that does a lot more than a Star Wars figure does.
I think it's one of the last ones I bought. And I think it was almost like $12.
Mm-hmm.
And like you, I'm like, first off, then I'm going to probably start some stuff. The new trilogy, I liked the first one, and that was it. And the figures just didn't appeal to me. I got a few Kylo Rens. I thought he was cool. But this, for example, this whole display of mine, this rim used to be half Star Wars, half Transformers. As you can see, there's a little Star Wars lingering over, and there's some Star Wars in that corner. That's it. I've boxed up pretty much all my Star Wars.
Yep. Yeah, I have one. It's literally a 2-foot shelf. And it's got my Clone Trooper helmet. It's got 2 Kodabukaya figures and a couple lightsabers. That's it. Everything else is boxed up and put away.
Yep. Now I've got, like, this whole wall here is NECA. And I've got a bookcase here now. We call it damn Pops. Masters of the Universe, got those. Nothing good.
Have you seen that viral video of DJ Chewbacca?
No.
You haven't seen that? Look that up on YouTube, DJ Chewbacca.
Okay.
You're looking right at him. That's the guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
That video got like something like 2.5 million views in a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, I hate to call it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I expose you?
I was about to say it is 10:30. I hate to cut this short, having a good time, but I need to go out and check some things. We're expecting a major snowstorm tonight.
No kidding.
It was supposed to start at 10 o'clock.
We're expecting to drop to 50 tomorrow.
Ooh. Now we're looking at 8 to 12 tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh. Man, you screwed that one up.
Sorry. I'm going to see him tomorrow.
That's awesome.
He's been he recently started on the path to Ghostbusters-dom.
Well, be careful. Is he on the Transformers path? Because that's a harder one to swallow.
Yeah, he is. He is into G1 and Masterpiece. He told me, man, the next time you get into something, let me know so I can get in on the bottom floor, and not after the fact when everything is too expensive.
Yeah, my G1 collecting's kind of at a halt. I have every G1 Decepticon.
No kidding.
The Autobot ones I need. They're the really expensive ones right now. Well, let me rephrase that. Every American release G1 Decepticon.
You got to get yourself what's the Overlord? Overlord? Yeah, Overlord. But he was British, I think. British and Japanese.
European. Now I've got that gigantic third-party one back here. You saw that?
Yeah.
Holding a small child.
I would love to get a. I'm at a loss for his name right now, but the leader of the Pretenders, for the Autobot Pretenders, the Japanese one that turned into a jet. We didn't get that in the U.S. He was a Japanese exclusive. He was Metalhawk. Damn, he's expensive.
As much as I love Pretenders, and you know I do, I just can't get into the Autobot ones. I think the Autobots, of course, it's all, with Japanese, they shrank down to human form. In Marvel G1, they flat out told them are giant humans.
Yep. But have you watched the show, the Japanese show?
I've seen bits and pieces.
Give it a watch. Give it a watch, because that's one show. Every single time I watch that show, I start buying figures from that series.
Well, shit, I don't need to watch it.
Because it's just one of those, like, you really just kind of fall in love with the characters. And the Japanese cartoons have a really smart way of, you know how in G1 here in the States, they would show you a character one time so they could sell you the toy and then you never see him again. And the way they did it with the Japanese series is they start off with a cast of characters, and as you move along, you start meeting new characters that become part of the story. But as new characters start coming in, older characters, you start seeing less and less of them until you just don't see them anymore. And they just kind of just sneak them in and sneak them out. And by the time you get to the end of the show, you've got a completely different cast. And they've ran through the entire toy line just naturally. They have a really, really smart way of doing it.
That's kind of like how Beast Wars did, except they didn't tie in every figure.
Yeah.
Which made it easier when you was collecting Beast Wars back in the day. You only got the one.
Yes. Yeah, Master Force. But that's really the reason I love those Pretenders, is because of that show.
And speaking of figures we want to see in Kingdom, bring back Pretenders. They've hit everything. Well, the Power Masters, kind of. I mean, they've done Headmasters, they've done Target Masters.
We got Double Dealer. He's a Power Master.
Yeah, but he didn't incorporate the gimmick. I mean, it's
true. But somebody said that earlier, was asking what we would like to see in Kingdom. Pretenders. And here's the thing: you want a proof of concept that Pretenders can be done with modern figures? Look at the clones, especially the Autobot clones.
Better yet, take some. Do you have this guy?
Yes, I do.
Look at how complex he is for a Transformer. Okay,
yep.
He could fit easily in one of those He-Man figures if they were hollowed out.
True. But here's the thing. Look at the size of these guys.
Yep.
And here's the thing. If you look at these two and then you look at the Decepticon ones, they're the same figure 4 times over. They really are. And even the ones that don't need it, did you notice they put the hinge to split the legs, even for the figures that didn't need it?
Yep.
It's good. They really just took the same figure and retooled it 4 times. And this guy right here, Cloudbreaker is a perfect proof of concept for a Cloudburst.
Oh, too easy.
This guy transforms exactly like I only know him by his Japanese name, Diver. The black submarine Autobot Pretender.
Submariner.
No, that's the Decepticon. The Autobot.
Huh? Wave Rider.
I know him by the Japanese name, Diver. This guy transforms exactly like G1 Diver does. But then when you transform him into his jet mode, he looks just like Cloudburst, which is funny. Cloudraker, Cloudburst, not really, it's not a stretch. And then you look at this guy, and the way this guy transforms into a car is just like the way that Landmine. He doesn't have the same transformation as Landmine, but it's one of those lay down, throw your legs up, and pretend you're a car. It's a car because we say it's a car, and that's kind of the way Pretenders were. Pretender alt forms were a jet or aquatic vehicle or a land vehicle because we say it is.
Yeah.
Use your imagination.
And if you didn't have those extra parts, they weren't nothing. Iguanas, for example, if you didn't have the piece that gave him the motorcycle wheels.
Exactly. So this right here is proof of concept that you can do Pretenders. Like all you got to do is build the shells and put these guys in a shell. That's it. These guys right here is perfect proof of concept. I'm 100% convinced of that, and I would love to see modern Pretenders.
Rubber skin. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Oh, dude, yes, shells with their skin like they use for Megatron. That would be amazing. And a couple of years ago, if you remember, they did that Pretender Optimus Prime that transforms into a gorilla.
Oil Master, wasn't it?
No, it's an actual proper Optimus Prime.
Is that the one that had two bots inside it?
He had who was it in the classics line that was a little I think it was a Swerve, a little pickup truck. So they took a Swerve and painted him black. Basically, they made a G2 Optimus Prime. They painted so the truck is black, but the robot is Optimus Prime in Optimus Prime colors with an Optimus Prime head. This is a new show, so I don't know where I have anything yet. If this is my old house, I could go right to it. With my new house, I'm still getting used to, like, I put everything up and then I don't remember where anything is. Here he is. So this guy came out. This was a fan club exclusive a couple of years ago. So they took this guy and made him into an Optimus Prime.
That's a cool looking Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I think this guy was a Swerve originally.
Yep, that's the body.
And they gave him an Optimus Prime head and paint job, and then they made him black truck, so it's G2 themed. And they made a whole new Pretender shell for this guy.
I dig it.
Check this out. A Pretender shell that can turn its head. Dude, it can be done. They figured it out. They also did a Megatron that was. He's in the back of my G1 shelf. I'm not grabbing him. So the Megatron, remember the little tank Megatron? Mm-hmm. They also did a Warpath out of him and whatnot. So they made a Megatron out of that one, and he came with a little piece that kind of looks like that original gun that the G1 figure came with. And then the shell was a reissue of the one for the Japanese Fortress Maximus that we did not get in the States.
Oh, so it wasn't really a beast. It looked like another robot.
Yeah. If you remember, the Fortress Maximus in Japan was not only a double headmaster, he was also a Pretender.
Yep.
So that Pretender shell that we did not get in the States, that got used for Megatron shell for that release, for that TFCon release.
That's cool. I'm hoping with their rebooting all these figures. I mean, we keep getting 84, 85, 86.
Mm-hmm.
The line dies down and they start dipping into where they're already teasing Beast Wars. RID and Armada is going to be coming soon because that's someone's G1. I hope they at least finish our G1s. I'd love to see some of those 87 bots, 89 bots. Make it come.
Some of the later stuff, yeah. I mean, and coming from the Optimus Prime guy, I love getting Optimus Prime figures, but yeah, let's get away from the same, I don't know, 8 figures, G1 figures characters that we keep getting, and let's get some of those more. Like, I love that they did this, and if we were going to get into the topic of exclusives, this is what needs to be an exclusive. You know, main characters like Thundercracker and Skywarp have no business being exclusives. But something niche like this can be an exclusive because you're going to have.
That's who I want a remake of.
Hell yeah.
Not many people know who this is. And if you were a fan of Marvel Comics back in the day, this guy was the shit.
That was meaner and badder than Megatron.
Oh, yeah. The only Decepticon that could wield the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, still turns into one of my favorite jets. And for those who don't know, he is a pretender. This is actually his little bot that fits inside him. But unlike the other pretenders, this guy was really hollow. You just kind of flipped up his front and he fit right in there.
That is such a cool figure.
Yeah. Mega pretender. So the little bot could turn into a jet and the shell could turn into a jet, and then they could combine together to a super jet.
To make a jettier jet. Yeah, pretenders. I have a lot of holes in the pretender collection, man. Those are not cheap figures to collect. That is a
me last process. When I was doing that pretender series. You were hating me when I was doing that.
Oh my God. You and Graham, the Collector 75. Because that dude has done so many pretender videos, man. And every time I'm getting a new one, I go and watch you and his videos. It's like, oh, there it is. That's the figure I'm getting. I can't wait.
He was my go-to G1 guy for ages. Mm-hmm. He'll get fed up at one of his. You'll see him always review a figure, and then the next year he'll do a redo.
Yeah, because he hates his old videos. Yeah. But I've been watching that dude since I'm gonna say at least he looked like a teenager. And he was in a bedroom.
Yeah, it looked like he was in a closet.
Yeah. And you could see like his toys sitting on his bed and whatnot.
My favorite way.
Then you move and he looked like he was in a closet because you could just see the hallway and the door behind him. It's like it just keeps changing. Now he's got that log thing that he uses.
And I love the fact he'll sit there and goes, oh, this figure, it's shit, but it's all right.
Except not with an Australian accent.
Yeah. Hell, I'm sorry.
I can't do British accents either. I don't know what it is. It's so funny because they can sound American so easily. I cannot sound British for the life of me.
I don't know if I could if I tried.
When I try, I could tell you that. I mean, if I do like, hello, Harry, but you're a wizard, Harry. But when I'm trying, when I'm not trying, I kind of assimilate. We had a British battalion training with us in Bragg for about a month. And I was driving those guys around for a month. And at the end of that month, I had American soldiers asking me, well, how come you're wearing a U.S. uniform? And they're wearing the British uniforms, but you're wearing an American uniform. Why is that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, you're a unit. Oh, I thought you were British.
That's funny.
What do you think? You have a British accent, and I wasn't even trying. I would just slip into it without even trying. I had no idea that I was doing it.
I was dared by a friend of mine once to do. He said, "I dare you to do an entire review in an Australian accent." And if you watch my Power of the Primes Outback video, I did the hat. I had my pet bearded dragon with me, and I did the whole video in an Australian accent. That was so hard to maintain.
I have been dared to do in a Macho Man voice.
I know. I dared you.
Yeah, I know. And I want to do it. I'm trying to think of what I can. I don't know if I want to do like I don't know, like an April Fool's video like that, or it has to be something short. I don't think I can keep that up for.
I tell you, Dylan, we watched that unboxing over and over again. He laughed every time.
I want to see him review that He-Man on Battle Cat Pop that he showed off. I've seen that thing at Walmart about 50 times, and 50 times I've been tempted to get it, but I am not a pop collector, so I don't.
Well, he just got Skeletor too.
I saw that Skeletor. I've never seen that Skeletor with Panther. That thing is amazing.
We actually pre-ordered it for him around Christmas time.
That thing is so cool. He's going to put us both out of the YouTube business. You know this.
Well, the plan is I'll train him and then he can just take over. I've lost track of the chat.
Blue Raccoon just got here. Oh,
we're wrapping up.
Yeah. Well, we said we were wrapping up 15 minutes ago, and then it's the same thing we do every time. Hey, let's talk for half an hour, and 3 hours later, we're still going at it.
Well, it just goes to show a good camaraderie. You know, you don't. Yeah. It's not a forced conversation. You actually got people that are friends. And I've said this so many times. This is what's amazed me so much about this YouTube thing. Never in a million years would I think I have made the friends that I have doing this. You know, it starts off as like, oh, yeah, it's just me talking about a toy. Next thing I know, I've got friends for life.
Yep.
Thanks.
But I think with that, yeah, we've been at this we're going on hour and 45.
Yeah.
I think it's a good time to cut it off right there.
It is. And
it's almost 11 o'clock. What's that?
This was Bert's first live stream. You got a nice.
Well, it's my first time hosting.
First time hosting, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking about, your fans are going to be here. I said, yeah, all 3 of them.
I think you had 50 some at one point.
I said that at when was it? One of the hot challenge videos that I did with one of the dance dads loves to get me hot foods to try. So whenever he gets me something, I'll do a video with him watching. He won't try it. I mean, that dude cannot take hot Taco Bell.
Is that the guy that was sitting on a bench with you? You did one video and this guy's just sitting on a bench? Okay.
Yep, that's him. He's one of the dance dads, and he always gets me this stuff. And he always ends up disappointed because he's waiting for me to freak out. He wants to see me eat something and just lose my mind, and I can't handle it. It's too hot. And every time I'm like, yeah, no, it's hot, and I'm calm about it. And then he gets disappointed because I'm not freaking out. And he said something in one of the videos. He said something about, oh yeah, you're fans, and I'm like, oh yeah, all 3 of you guys are awesome. And he starts laughing. I started getting comments on the video. Hey man, I'm one of your. There's more than 3 of us. Like it's called self-deprecating humor.
That's funny.
It's a joke. All right, well, let's go ahead and cut it off there, so that it's not too late. We all got kids and families, and
yeah, I can hear mine downstairs playing now, saying you've been up there for 3 hours because I came up here at 8 o'clock.
I cannot believe that you were just now joining, Edgar. Good to see you too, brother. I used to work with this dude.
Awesome. Hey, and I'm going to plug
Nope. Vinny came over one time. All right, so I've got a shelf in the fridge that is on the door that is dedicated just to hot sauces. I got all kinds. What did we get, Vinny? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we got one of those Taco Bell 12 packs. I think is what we got. And I start pulling out the hot sauces, and I had one. This was either the volcano or the liquid stupid. I want to say it was liquid stupid. And this guy watched me put 3 drops into a taco and stir it in. He grabs the bottle. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Stop. Don't. He's like, you're a pussy. Okay. I want you to look at his face right now on the screen and look at how white that dude is. This is what he looked like. This is the shade of red he turned into. But dude, he committed. He ate it. He ate it. He hurt, but he ate it.
Have you ever tried the death nut?
I haven't tried it. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
It keeps popping up on my Facebook. I may have to get a couple of those, and we'll get Cato involved too.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I know Cato can handle his hot foods too. He's Filipino.
Cato is not. He's a white boy.
Larkin. Larkin can do it. Because he can. Why did I say Kato? Kato won't do it. He will not eat hot foods. I know Larkin will. Larkin likes those nuclear ramen. I love those. I order those by the case, dude. Seriously, I have a whole shelf of them in my pantry. I love those ramen.
Thanks,
Samyang ramen. Samyang. Who are we thanking? What did I miss?
Lazy Eyed said Bert's the best, and he loves me too.
No, Lazy Jedi is the best. Lazy Jedi is the best around, and no one's ever going to keep him down.
And yes, for those of you in the chat, check me out. Patriot Prime Reviews. You like Bert, you'll love me.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I'm not going to argue with that. He's better than me.
You've taught me everything I know.
Dude, but seriously, no, I'm not kidding, brother. Like, you took this ball and ran with it, and your channel is like you do YouTube so much better than I have ever done it. You're so good at this. Your channel's doing great. I love seeing how much your channel's grown and how fast it's growing.
I'm almost at 8,000.
That's awesome.
I think I'm like last check. I think I'm like 20 from 8, or maybe no, it's like 200 from 8. I'm sorry. So.
Me too. I went to the very end when they're almost done, and I'll crack an egg on them, and then I'll cover them and let the steam just what's that called? It's not obviously it's not boil. It's when you steam an egg. It's poach. Let the steam just poach that egg. Oh, it's perfect.
I attempted a blooming onion in my air fryer tonight.
How'd that go?
Wasn't good. The sauce I made was fantastic, but the blooming onion just didn't work because going from Transformers to recipes now, guys. You never know what you get. I cut the onion, and the way you mixed up the egg wash in one bowl, and then you had the flour mixture in another, and you just kept dipping back and forth. I think it would be better if you made like one big batter and coated it. So I might try that next time. Oh, wow. Damn, Larkin. Good job.
You're doing great. I just hit 16,000 like a week or two ago. I mean, like, 16,120, something like that today.
Now, how long you been doing this?
Going on 7 years, I think.
Wow.
But my videos only get like 200 to 300 views.
I don't get that.
I don't either.
Cooking channel.
I think it's what we were talking about earlier. I think the draw was with my channel was the Prime stuff, and once the Primes dried up, like, I don't know, it just seems like when the Primes dried up is when the channel really started to nosedive. Even though some of my Ninja Turtle and some of my Ghostbusters reviews have done really well, and at times have been on the top most watched videos. But for what it was, that's just Prime is what kept bringing people in. That was consistently. I mean, there was a point in time where That's Just Prime video I would put it out on a Monday morning, and it would get anywhere between 1,000 to 10,000 views that day. That day, it would get between 1,000 and 10,000 views. It was you never knew. And I think it was a combination of the draw for the Prime series, and also the fact that this was all during the time when we were getting those live action movies too. Mm-hmm. So Transformers was like a thing in the mainstream that people were talking about.
And there's so many Transformer reviewers now. You really gotta fight for a position.
Yeah, once my collection kind of dried up and the movies dried up, that all happened at about the same time, and I think those were all factors. And at that point, I had all these subs, but they all just stopped watching because, you figure a lot of the people that grew up watching the movies grew up. They're not looking at toy videos anymore. They're in college or getting jobs and stuff like that.
Kind of like how we were in G1. Oh, we grew up. We're 10 now. There's girls. Oh, we're in our 40s now. There's toys.
All right, shall we try to cut this off again?
I'll let you do this. I keep wanting to take over the stream. This isn't me this time. You send us out.
Dude, you know I don't care about that stuff. People get weird about that kind of stuff. I really don't care, man. But yeah, all right. So everybody, thank you for joining us tonight and watch two 40-something-year-olds talk about toys and family and cooking and everything in between. Everybody, thank you everybody for joining. Patriot Prime, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I always have a blast talking with you, whether we have a camera on or not. So
live again, and I mean not live like this,
but in real life. And that's the thing is, like, you guys, what you guys don't see is that we do this every day. We just don't turn the cameras on. But we do this every day. In fact, actually, we turn the cameras on when we're in stores. I'll be at Target, like, hey man, look what I just found. You got this one?
It's true.
So, yeah, it's a regular thing for us. So everybody, thank you for joining us. Make sure you go check out Patriot Prime. If you're not subscribing to him, check out Patriot Prime Reviews, because his channel is so much better than mine. Go check him out. And he's got merch. He sells t-shirts and shit. So
I quit selling the shit. It wasn't selling that well.
Yeah, thanks again for joining me, brother.
Anytime.
Thank you everybody that joined in and watched us. Thank you everybody that's given us the super chats and just kind of participated tonight. And we'll do it again soon. We'll put up an announcement next time we want to do this. And
in the comments, do you guys want to see more of these?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a popular thing anymore. I mean, everybody's trapped at home anyway, so let's watch two nerds talk.
Exactly. Might as well. So as always, guys, give me some thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends if you like what you see, and we'll talk to you next time. I don't have a thing I do.
You love this channel.
Give me some thumbs up. See you guys.